Yes, the title of this video is not clickbait. We did indeed spend £150 million on one player, and he'll be put to the test today as we have our first big game of the season against Manchester City. Hello and welcome back to Unemployed to Legends, Club 4, Episode 2 with Liverpool. My name is Craig and come up on today's episode we've got all the transfers that have happened so far and a home match against Manchester City in the Premier League. Now since you were last with me, we did do the first game of the season, as you can see from the league table. A nice comfortable 3-0 win away against Brentford. Not too bad for first day of the season. We even took the lead with less than 1 minute gone. That's what you call a very good start, but of course we are going to be tested very heavily against Manchester City, who are the reigning Premier League champions. Yep, so they've won it 4 times out of 8 seasons, I believe, of this save. So very impressive team, but that's why we've been trying to strengthen this squad. Before we get into the transfers though, something that I did forget to mention / ask in the last episode. Last episode was the first episode of a new chapter in Unemployed to Legend. So if I could just ask that you hit the like button down below, smash the big red subscribe button, so not just so you miss the Premier League adventure that we are embarking on, but it also helps with YouTube's algorithm as well. Gets the series out there to more eyes. Maybe more people will enjoy the journey that we are currently on. But enough dilly-dallying. I did mention that we have spent £150 million. Just so I didn't forget about this, we are trying to get Kai Havertz in, but whether we'll actually take the contract or not, who knows? But I'll let you know by the next episode if he has actually come in or not, because we're not going to know before today's match. So, a lot of players have actually gone out. Quite a few of these were actually before I even arrived. But just quickly, if we're just going to go through this, many of them are behind my head, but I'll give the figures that happened. Jordan Jovanovski went to Shakhtar Donetsk for £8.25 million. Alija Ruznik for £8.25 million. He went to Villarreal. Quite a few players went out on loan. Tanzan Kirklu, I think was a youngster. Not quite, but he was in the under-21s. He went to Konyaspor in Turkey for £1.7 million. And Timo Werner, this is a big one actually. Timo Werner, he's gone to Trabzonspor in Turkey for a pathetic £210,000. They bought him for £74 million back in 2025. Or 2024, sorry. This guy just did not live up to the hype at all. Awful. This Football Manager kind of did Timo Werner very dirty here, but for £210,000 we got £100,000 off the wage bill. That's fine. So we made roughly about £5 million over this season overall. Sergio Castro, another youngster, he went out to West Brom on loan in the Championship. We'll give him another year of development. If he doesn't perform there, then might just sell him on. He's one of Liverpool's own. But we're trying to... Oh, he's actually doing okay. First game of the season, an 8.0 rating. Keep that up. We might have some conversations then. And today, just literally before I clicked record, we sold Dani Olmo, 32-year-old attacking midfielder, Spain international. We sold him for £20 million to Chelsea, which is the top end of his value apparently. So we did for some very good business. He's been at Liverpool for a few years, minus a loan at Atletico Madrid. He's done quite well for Liverpool, but £20 million for a 32-year-old is very good business, and hopefully he won't perform as well for Chelsea. Kind of ironic, he's gone to a club that I could have ended up at earlier this summer, but he didn't want to be around. He wanted Champions League football. Okay, goodbye. In fact, quite a few of our players did, but I managed to talk them down or promise them that we'll get Champions League football for next season, because if we don't, we won't be here longer than one season anyway. But players who we have got in, and the first one is that £150 million signing. You've probably been eyeballing this already. Charles de Ketelaere. You're probably thinking we might have overpaid £150 million for this guy. Time will tell, especially as his value has already skyrocketed to 250 to 300 million pounds. He looks very strong in all areas except leadership. It's okay, no problem. Or his marking, but we're not bringing him in to defend. He's been doing very, very well in this whole save with AC Milan, where he went for 27.5 million pounds. We paid, yes, 150 million. 50 million of that is up front. I'm just going to be honest right now. But I think we got ourselves a player here who is he described as elite? Yes, he is. He's elite, a star player for his country. He's a perfectionist, excellent reputation. Quite frankly, I think we've got ourselves a marquee signing. I think this will be our biggest marquee signing for this summer at least. If we do get back into the Champions League, we'll see what we can do for another marquee signing. But certainly for someone who is available, not too bad. I mean, some fans are complaining that we overpaid for him. Like I said, time will tell. Yes, we also bought in Dennis Simon from Lens. Of course we did. We needed a goalkeeper. We know what Dennis Simon can do. He's played in the Champions League before. And as he's already played one game in that game against Brentford, fairly solid. I mean, he's still only reporting as a leading Sky Bet Championship player, so top level Premier League player, maybe not. If we can get another goalkeeper in, we will do so, but I would rather Dennis Simon in than Jamie Cumming, who, yeah, he just does not look the business. But Dennis Simon, we got him in for 12.5 million. Yeah, 12.5 million pounds. Not too bad from Lens, just helping them out as well, I guess, in France to try and compete with PSG. Elcio Borja is in from Tottenham, 23-year-old Portuguese international centre-back. Physically, need I say any more? He just looks disgusting. He is an elite centre-back, good Premier League level, 63 million pounds. So this is the sort of player at the back who will hopefully be a good defender for us for many seasons to come. He's also another player who relishes big matches. That is what you want. Another player we bought from Lens as well, Jolson Fernandez. Probably not the sort of player you would think we'd bring in, but he's another player who we know what he can do. Again, he's played in the Champions League. He was Lens' best player for quite a long time. They brought him in on a free and made a massive profit. 44 million pounds. Would we get that back for him? Probably not. But I do feel he at least gives us squad depth if we do bring someone in over him. Fernandez as a backup is more than fine. He played against Brentford as well. Apparently didn't do that well, but he was on the ball enough, drives us forward, has got decent pace. I think he's a good player to have against maybe half the Premier League at the very least. So if we do bring someone in over him, he's going to have to be of better quality. Oh, he actually comes in as a decent Premier League player, so apparently higher rated than Dennis Simon. Manuel Silva, a 21-year-old Portuguese under-21 international. He's going to be a backup at left-back for Saravia. Very good pace, physically decent, mentally decent as well. I have to train up his crossing, but other than that, decent Premier League player, can still improve to 3.5 star potential ability. We brought him in from Porto for 35 million pounds. He hasn't played as many games as I thought he would for a 23-year-old, but... Oh, sorry, 21 years old. Should have known that, I just said it. But he will get some game time here, probably in the Europa League especially. And the final player that we did bring from Lens, so we spent a lot of money on players from Lens. How much have we spent for... how much have we given them, sorry? 93... Oh, we've given them about 105 million pounds up front. That's amazing. Actually, I don't even know if it was up front. 49 million pounds for Stingel, of course, but he is the only player from Lens who we scouted who was rated 5-star potential ability. Leads in Sky Bet Championship, but he's going to massively improve. And we've already seen what he can do. He can play centre-back or defensive midfield. He'll probably be a squad player for this season. In fact, is that what he is? Yeah, squad player for this season. But I expect him to develop and push on while at Liverpool. Again, he will get game time, most likely Europa League. So those are the signings that we have made so far. I think definitely it's improved the squad. It's given us a bit more depth. And the media seem to think so as well, because we are now... Oh, we were fourth favourites for the title. We're now 5th. Newcastle must have improved somewhere. Yikes. But it's very, very tight across the top 6. So we're in or around the hunt for Champions League places, which is the minimum for this season. Of course, as well, the Europa League, we'd like to make a run in that, because if you do win the Europa League, you will of course go into the Champions League. So that's what this game is about today, just to see where we stand against teams at the top of the league. We're not anticipating winning the title this season, but we do want to make strides towards the top of the league, and top 4 is definitely a big part of that. So this is going to be the 11 that we're going to send out for the Man City game. You've got Dennis Simon in goal, a back four, Saravia, Borja, Ibrahima Konate, who does want to leave for Champions League football. We've had to make a promise to him that we will go back into the Champions League for next season, otherwise we sell him on. Fair enough. I mean, if he can help us get back into the Champions League, that's fine. If not, he can go. Amaral is on the right side of defence because Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is still here, he's injured. Yeah, let's hope that's not a theme. Lavia and Wharton at the base of the midfield, with Jolson Fernandez left wing, De Ketelare in attacking midfield, Curtis Jones on the right wing. I said I didn't want to start him, but he scored 2 goals. He actually banged in 2 goals against Brentford. So on that basis, I apologise. For now, perform against Manchester City, and I will give him a new contract. Saying that his contract runs out in a couple of years. 165,000 a week, jeez. Some people might say he's stealing a living, but if he performs, I will say fair enough. And Anderson Luiz is the man up front, our main striker. He looks absolutely disgusting. Very lively up front, easily a very, very leading Premier League striker. In fact, that's exactly what his report says. I can't even get the words out properly. He scored against Brentford on the opening day of the season. He in fact scored within 1 minute. Can't ask for much more, can we? Right, Manchester City. Let's go and see how we can perform against them. Of course, Erling Haaland is still there. The Terminator lives on. In fact, so Phil Foden as well. Jeez, Rodri, Ruben Diaz. Oh yes, and they signed Everton Freitas, who is a wonder kid from Brazil. I was looking to bring him in when I was still at Lens. Didn't quite happen, for obvious reasons. Even though we matched the release clause that I think it was Palmeiras who was at before. Even though we matched the release clause that Palmeiras wanted, he still chose Manchester City, because who wouldn't? I'm still amazed we were able to keep Fernandes away from Manchester City for as long as we did. Oh yeah, I've been on extended highlights. Let's bring it down to key. We don't want to be here for about half an hour. Certainly I don't want to see Manchester City just attacking us for what will feel like half an hour. We start on the ball here after kickoff, and we've given the ball away already. Fantastic. Just in case it comes up on the microphone as well, if you hear like a sort of rattling of glasses clinking together, I've got a couple of glasses right to the left of me. And what is that? 8 minutes and Manchester City have just scored, and it was nothing to do with Erling Haaland here. Let's have a look. But yeah, I've got a few glasses on my desk, so hopefully it won't make too much noise. But the big news right now is we have just conceded, and a complete mix-up there in defence. Saravia should have just cleared it. Mehmedi does put Manchester City 1-0 up, and we need to go and encourage. And we do have a free kick here. De Ketelare plays it in, and oh, it's a complete scramble, and I think it's an own goal by the goalkeeper. Carnesecchi has put through his own net. So that's 2 goals in the opening 15 minutes where it's been complete scrambles in the area. Konate with the header in, and my goodness, Manchester City tried to clear the ball twice, failed twice, and it just cannons in off their own goalkeeper. Beautiful stuff. 1-1, and it's not been the quality goals that you would have thought that you would expect from both of these sides. Saravia with the throw-in. I've actually managed to set up my throw-ins, so they're both short. Something I completely forgot to do for like 8 seasons in a row. It's only taken till season 9 to get it right. Jones on the right-hand side. Beautiful ball through to him. You can just cross it in, and it's a poor cross because he was completely swamped out. Rodrigo, unfortunately, wasn't even closed down. Manchester City are on the break here. And it's another goal. It was too easy because we just didn't close down. Who was that? Was that Rodrigo or Rodri? I get mixed up. It was Rodrigo. We are going to need to close him down by the looks of it. In fact, that is exactly what we are going to do. So, excuse me a moment. Where is he? Rodrigo. Oh, he's a left winger. That is why. We've already got him on tackling hard. Ah, that's why. So Amaral is on attack. So maybe we should bring back to wing back on support. And he is going to mark. Not Mehmedi. Yep, he's going to mark Rodrigo because absolutely nobody closed him down, and we have ourselves a corner. Fernandez to take. There is Jones, but he is played back out to Fernandez. Fernandez is going to go for the shot. Ooh, almost. I think it took a deflection on the way through, actually, but it is another corner. Adam Wharton to take. Plays it in, and it is cleared, and there's absolutely nobody on the edge of the area. And the highlight just peters out. Again, we are on key highlights, so it's just sloppy play. Manchester City are just taking advantage. Oh my God, what are you doing? Do not play the ball across your own area with Haaland lurking. That was the worst thing you could have done. But it feels like more we're sloppy in possession than anything else. What are we on? We're on shorter passing. In fact, run at defence less. That's probably the one thing to do. Just run at the defence a little bit less because they're just going to pick the ball off of you. Theo Hernandez getting forward, and there is Haaland. My God. My whole philosophy was supposed to be we may as well just attack Manchester City because every time we've sat back against big teams, they just pick us off. It never mattered. So we may as well just go for it. And unfortunately, they've just picked us off anyway. Actually, are we not even on a low block? That's one thing I usually do. Okay. Okay, that didn't quite work. We may as well just go for the low block because they're clearly just getting chance after chance. And I'm not going to drop to anything more defensive because we will just be absolutely picked off. Well, we're already being picked off, but we're just going to get absolutely battered as another chance just goes over for Man City. It's more like we've been sloppy in possession more than anything else. I was encouraged after those early 15 minutes, but it hasn't quite happened. And we're 3-1 down at half time. Not really been in the game as much. We've had one shot on target. I wonder how much of that was that own goal. I'm disappointed. We're not positive enough. Definitely. Oh boy, right. What changes can we make to try and affect this game? Jones is having an awful game. Everyone's having an awful game, to be fair. Edson Rubio is going to go off. Sorry, he's going to come on for Curtis Jones on the right-hand side. Becerra, right. Becerra is going to go on for Konate, and I think what we're going to do, Adam Wharton is going to drop a bit deeper. He's not going to be a deep lying playmaker. Well, he is going to be. There's a defensive midfielder, but we're actually going to swap him off. Marcus Stingel is going to come on. Can Lavia play there as well? Yes, he can. He can play there, and he can be... What is a Segundo Volante? Look to support the attack while picking and choosing his opportunities. Oh, screw it. We may as well try that. So this is the first time I'm ever using this, so we may as well. If it somehow helps us turn the game around, then I might start using it a bit more often, but we'll see how it goes. 3 subs changed. We'll see what effect they can have on the game. Okay, so Man City are trying to play out from the back. We're not trying to stop them from doing that because you try and press up, they just pick you off when you leave so many spaces. And again, they just get the ball into the area. It's almost like we can't truly stop them from doing that. No matter who we put out. Amaral is knackered. Paul Williams is going to come on. De Ketelaere is tired. Saravia is tired. We've only got 1 sub left, so one of them is going to have to stick it out for an entire match. Okay, final changes. Luis Carlos is going to go on for Ketelaere, and he's going to swap with Anderson Luiz. Yeah, that's the final change we can actually make. We've only got 5, so we may as well just see what we can create if anything, because nothing's actually happened since like 65 minutes since that last highlight. So it just feels like the game is petering out at this point. I mean, Man City have just kind of carved us apart, mostly in the first half. But it just feels like we were more sloppy in possession, which gifted them those opportunities, which is a shame. Of course, the rebuild is still very much going on, but today was a test to see how far away we are from Man City. Yeah, safe to say we're still quite far away from Manchester City in terms of competing one-to-one against them. I mean, our players can't even get near them. Look at this. I don't think it matters who you actually have on the pitch. You just can't get near any of these guys, which is a shame. Haaland and Foden are just on another planet, and there's no chance we're going to be able to buy them from Man City unless their contracts run out. Why am I going to outstretch the arms? Not happy with your performance? Absolutely not. Awful performance, and for a first big test, not great. But there's still a lot of work to do. We've still got the rest of the transfer window to do, of course, but we are going to come back for some point in September. Whether it's going to be for a mixture of Premier League and Europa League game, it depends on who we get drawn against in the Europa League. If it's no one any good, we'll just come back for 2 Premier League games, probably looking at this Chelsea game at the end of September. I think that's going to be a big one. We'll see how we do, see if we can try and rack up some wins in the meantime. And also, see if we can bring anyone in, preferably like a world-class goalkeeper, before the end of the transfer window. If you have enjoyed this episode, make sure that you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button. And follow us on this journey of hopefully completing a rebuild for Liverpool. It will take some time, but eventually we will get there. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for your support on the series so far. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode.